Welcome to the video of my poem, After the End Times, Imagining the Future. Why end times? For me, the words are a container to hold our knowledge of what we have done to our beautiful earth and to ourselves. I've been sad, in deep grief, moving towards acceptance. And then my spiritual teacher, Llewellyn Vaughan Lee, was given a vision. He called it the 7 foundational principles of the new era. And I was like, new era? Really? And I began to write. After the end times, imagining the future. Foundational principle number 1, the return of the feminine. I am witchy, witchy, witchy. Say it 3 times and it's true. Up in the night, cooking roots to carry to friends against plagues 1, 2, and 3. Sleeping in my jacket because plague. I dream I'm in a war. Non-combatant, woman, witness. Fighting coming up into my lap. I am trying to find a place to hide. There is no place to hide. In this whole big world, tribal warfare with missiles, no place to hide. We can only witness. Everyone is taking sides. This is my side. Woman, witchy, witness, feeling sad, not being sad, watching. Rain moves. Rain moves across water through bright patch of sunlight, dark slanting storm coming this way. And across the water, on an island, women have gathered to wait for a birth. They are cooking, eating, walking. Bless them. Robin's place. I am remembering Robin's place up the hill, her hatched-up home, put together of metal and plastic, sunk in the cedar mountain. Inside, dark, rich fabric, colors, books, warm, fennel, fragrant, drying in paper bags by the wood stove, and outside, vegetables, herbs, fruit trees, branches laced, green abundance, and not one straight line. You could stand on the edge of the garden and see your home like a little witch's hat peeking above the tangle, but have no idea how to get to the door, which crazy path to take. How many times was I gardening there, helping, weeding, and pulled out wrong things, dazzled by witchy green energy, but wrong. At her celebration, after cancer had burned away her nice roundy body, I said she embodied the feminine divine. Robin. Sea lions barking. What are you even talking about? The feminine. What does that mean? Do you really want to know? Or are you just asking, woofing questions to distract us? Like sea lions, loud, crazy barking off the pier, big bodies taking up all the sea, woofing, yelling for the women lions left down south in California. All these guy sea lions making such a racket, yelling, "We'd go to war for you." What are you all upset about? What are you all upset about? No, we don't want to leave you behind. Your sweetness, barricaded by bravado. No, why so loud? You can penetrate, reflect, develop thought and reason, synthesize, inductive, deductive. You can fecundate and always want to fecundate everything feminine. Why did you swim so many miles away from the sea cows anyway? You explore the outside world, don't know much about the inner. You search for and respect the laws of life, but deny so much. Barking and woofing your loud truths. You contain and give order to chaos, guided in a straight line. You make new vaccines faster than fast. Strength, potency, and impetuosity, the love of digging. Swimming backwards, if you can hear me through the barking. I was younger, say in my 50s. I dreamt a rocket shooting up. My teacher said it was puer aeternus, eternal boy. I am a woman, straight mostly, cis as they say, flying across the stage of life, unconscious of the straps and wires, singing, I'll never grow up, I'll never grow up, not I. He said, my masculine was immature, had not grown up. He said, you need to put your creativity into the world. So I did. A stream of books, my creativity in the world. I needed my masculine to be a container to my feminine. I am a woman. So you see, you are a man. You need your feminine, your grown-up feminine, receptive, nurturing, patient, listening with senses, soul, and heart. Feet on the ground, grounded, patient, nurturing, not murdering, not going to war again, not going to war, not going to war, not going to war again. Walking out at night. Walking out at night in November. The dark air is warm, blowing through cedars, warm gust on the face. Still getting used to unusual weather. The feminine accepts things as they are. My teacher said it might be 100 or 130 years. He didn't say, but maybe it will be 300. Not in my lifetime or yours. 2 lifetimes, 4, however many. Depending on where on this luscious earth your descendants live, and whether you and they are washed away in flood, burnt in fire, or die of hunger, no apparent food anywhere, it won't be fun. No, a bleak Doris Lessing novel of a time. But there will come a time when the feminine will rule. No, not rule. We'll need a new language. Women and the feminine will be respected, consulted, a new gracious way of good manners, an etiquette of kindness. Rape courts will grow dusty from disuse and left to spiders. Bulldozers will fall silent, then oxidize and melt slowly back into earth. There will be a new kind of energy. Human photosynthesis? It will be something we haven't thought of yet, lighting us and moving us where we need to go, something emergent. In the meantime, foundational principle number 2, the earth is sacred. Sacred land and sea, mountains and trees, and all the animals, cows and snakes, and raven flying off the ark and not coming back, trickster escaping the rule-bound ark, yelling, holy, holy, holy. New man, stepping quietly by rattling snake, breathing respect. New woman, letting fear fall away. Nature is already exquisitely self-regulating. Holy, holy, holy. Life running through it like a tea-brown creek through dark green forest. Holy. Sister Creek is alive, even while gasping, scorched, in midst and under weight of heat dome. November Creek is alive, muscular, not asking permission to roil in atmospheric rivers, going where it wants, holy, alive. Now, little rat responds to my request to leave. Holy. Squirrel stops eating my alpine strawberries when I ask. Holy. My garden, my strawberries. Do you hear yourself, Jane? Then, working with the earth in harmony, speaking to devas, high intelligence of beings, animals, plants, creeks, clouds, speaking to devas with respect, being human, asking nicely, voices soft, hands cupped in prayer, kneeling in soft dirt or standing knee-deep in holy water, sending out prayers across salt sea and into clouds. Now, my friend dreams the devas caged, used, not respected. Then we will be asking nicely for rain, say, and a hot stretch. We are thirsty. Your plants are thirsty. Please, rain, please. Cloud deva? Praying, standing barefoot on sere, cracked earth. Cloud deva? Asking permission when we take something. Please and thank you. Maybe there will be fewer of us then, after the end times. Changes will have scourged the holy earth, and then there will be fewer of us, fewer of us, fewer. And greed will be spoken about in hushed tones and written about with horror. Really? They did that? Scrape the holy, beautiful earth to pull out poisons? Heavy metals to run machines to go faster and farther? Really? Child miners, hands scorched by chemicals, digging under their own houses? This was Africa, not long ago. That is, it was now. This garden, this Eden, this place, this garden, saving seeds, asking what likes to grow here, this one, these seeds, onward planting, to explain, to describe the feeling in my garden, our garden, can't describe, same silky feeling as when I'm with my sisters. Connection, peace, acceptance. Garden and I in close, loving relationship. Silky sweet, light, funny. Leaves layered, branches dancing, exquisitely self-regulated. A mystic would say, if you know, you know. I don't speak owl. One day, I was walking by the creek under cedars in the park, above the highway. I was thinking, walking and thinking of the words, the personhood of rivers and trees. Rivers and trees and frogs and lakes and snakes and ravens pulling at the garbage on the side of the road. The words came in a dream, just the words. The personhood of rivers and trees. Walking on the paths and thinking about the word kincentric. Emergent, ancient, belonging with all life. How trees and rivers and creeks and frogs and ants and such are kin, my sisters and brothers. And how I wanted to introduce this word to my Climate Action Network that night on Zoom. To make this action, yes, to speak. And suddenly, owls are calling across the tops of cedars and firs. Calling, calling, calling. Owls. I don't speak owl, but surely they were calling yes. The word is concentric. The owls were singing and singing yes. I have never heard them before in these trees, before or since. The new ways. The new ways of working with Earth in harmony. We haven't even imagined yet what those new ways might be. Emergent, but holy. It seems so obvious to me. The Earth is holy. It seems so obvious to me. Which thought holds hidden the thought? Why can't everyone see? Which is impatience? Which is anger? I've apparently been put on this life to learn patience, my teachers, my holy broken children, and still haven't learned. Now I've turned 3/4 of a century old, impatience and judgment, and sometimes anger even. Why can't everyone see? It's so obvious. The earth is sacred, holy, divine. Choose your word, but act as if it's so, says impatient, judgmental, angry Jane. We are so primitive, such a primitive people, earthlings, walking about on our concrete streets, wearing exquisitely made clothes, thinking we know something. Someday, maybe in 130 years, maybe 300, we may become human, fully human. We are primitive and also sacred. The third principle, time is no longer linear. Instead, we will return to living in harmony with the many different rhythms of time, recognizing our place within nature and the cosmos. This will also help us to live more fully in the present moment, says Llewellyn Vaughan Lee. Spring follows winter. And how shall this be done? This 100, 130, or 300-year change? Check timeline. How long did he say? I don't know. I guess by surrender to the not knowing, some mysterious alchemy. Do nothing until all is water. The seas will have risen. There will be fewer humans, almost no land, until all is water. Until we can start again, trusting the mystery. Spring follows winter. It usually does. There's a once-in-a-century flood every year or two. I knew about this a minute ahead of my time. So, 7 foundational principles, 3 kinds of time, like 3 kinds of Dickens ghosts haunting our nights for 100 years, but not past, present, and future. 1 kind, commonplace time, the time we know from poems and greeting cards, how time lasts forever in childhood and summer, running along salt-silvered logs at the top of the beach, tan bare feet barely touching, long, childish, sweet time, and how a year of sobriety goes by so quickly, one gruesome day at a time, and then is suddenly done and gone again. I am remembering a night of fear, thunder and lightning, childish fear. Would morning never come? How time speeds up, a reckless, out-of-control psycho driver as we age, 40, 60, 75, 92, dead, whatever that is. How a new moon, a silver curve in the sky 1 minute, shines full in the yard again the next. We all know this kind of time, the time of our life, commonplace. And in commonplace time, I also put time physicists say they know about. How one part of the universe folds to touch another eons away. How time bends, and side by side your life, there are other lives that are yours too. All the same but different. Some Jane who writes, but it's doggerel and she knows it. How we can travel from one piece of time to another by spaceship or starcraft. Commonplace, I say, the tepid stuff of movies, but not really believable in the day-to-day, though we're told the physicists believe. The second kind of time, experiential, uncanny, my own experience, I mean. Maybe you've experienced this too, maybe not. But you won't find it on greeting cards, this taste of time. This taste of time. How time disappears in deep meditation. My husband's quiet step on the porch of the hut. I was held there by 2 sentinel cedars. Gone, gone, gone beyond, lost track. He is gently telling me it is 7:30 and the yard is full of morning light. Up and going, on the phone and into the day. And how time expands so that there is time for everything. When I can drop my shoulders and remember time is an illusion or delusion, whichever. Dreamt I was giving a party, but I wasn't ready, still cleaning windowsills and people arriving, and there wasn't enough food. Drop the shoulders and the delusion. There is enough time for everything. Time enough for everything. The list done, the day done, the party given, doing dishes afterwards with my husband. There was time. And time gets soft and easy, elastic, and eager to please, happy puppy. Yes, I have experienced this. Drop the shoulders and breathe. The third type of time, I don't know much about. I have no experience of. It exists in the space of not knowing, in the space of believing. A man stands on a mountainside with binoculars, watching hawks migrate, flying in smoky air, hawks dipping and soaring on mountain currents, rivers of air invisible to human eyes. There are late season fires somewhere close, but miles away, so smoke. I think it is Virginia, maybe West Virginia, somewhere near Charlottesville. I have no idea what the mountains look like here, but I can see it in mind's eye. The hawks, the smoke, then the mountainside on fire. On fire! Across the deep valley, he sees a car on a distant road along the side of a mountain, so far away he can't even tell what color it is. And then it catches fire. Bright orange flames flare up from under the hood, overwhelm the far car. He's watching, helpless. Then spark the drought grass on the hill above. Flames fly up the mountainside across the deep valley. He's helpless, praying. The mountainside across is on fire. Hawks are hovering in case of animals fleeing, always hungry. Time is fast and slow and all mixed up. He is helpless, praying. I am helpless, reading the poem he has posted, praying. Suddenly, a throbbing in the air. Helicopters come from the distant fires with water, blessed water, dropped. Smoke turns white, and the young fire is out. My question, do my prayers on reading his poem join his prayers to bring helicopters somehow to douse the fire? In other words, can prayers sometimes travel backwards in time? To my friend on the mountain praying, do you think prayers go back and forth in time? Answer, they must, because what is in the heart partakes of the timeless realm. The timeless realm. I've experienced my prayers apparently having effect. Yes, I have prayed that someone was safe, even when it was too late. If they weren't safe, they would already be in hospital or dead. If they were safe, they'd be home. Throwing my prayers back in time, I don't know. I throw this question into the void, and there's only a puff of white smoke as the fire goes out. And also, there is the awful truth that dead is dead. Mostly, what's done is done. You fall in a hole, and there is no way to stop yourself, and something is broken, and life will never be the same. Dead, whatever that is. But still, can prayers time travel? I don't know. I pray without knowing. Principle number 4, hierarchies will end. The future will be non-hierarchical. Present hierarchies, their dynamics of power and patterns of control will fall apart. God's pronouns. God's pronouns. Forever and ever, God was he, him. One Christmas Eve in muggy, crowded, candlelit church, standing shoulder to shoulder in warm winter coats, I belted out, "Queen of Queens," instead of King, every time, getting looks, not caring. My puny protest, adolescent, probably not even in tune. God is neither male nor female, but has male and female aspects. In fact, 99 plus to infinite aspects or names of God. What should God's pronouns be? Maybe they, them is best for now. An infinite they. The hardest part. Horrible YouTube preacher. God over man, man over woman, woman over child, child over tortured cat, I suppose. He's serious. This was the hierarchy for so long, for long enough. And now, as hierarchy breaks down visibly, on camera. White over dark for so long, breaking down. Chaos, suffering, fighting. Black man is murdered under knee of white man. And girl is videotaping, girl witnessing, the young feminine holding steady, taping. And this hierarchy, white over black, is suddenly vivid in all kinds of places. Now it breaks down. King over subjects, oligarch over serfs, 130 to 300 years of suffering as it breaks down. But eventually, he says, the patterns of control will fall apart. This will be the hardest part, he says, my teacher. Yes, it feels so hard as I sit day after day listening to the white males suffering this change. Does that mean no more aristocrats, oligarchs, billionaires owning more than anyone? No more enclosing of the commons? No more potato monocrops leading to famine on the land? No more colonizing? No more clearing the land, bombing Gaza to build luxury condos? No more property as theft? Collapse of the hierarchies, the hardest part of the transition, and the shortest part of this poem. Because, like the wild, weird weather, it is all around us, painful to watch, to witness without judgment. Foundational principle number 5, a focus on forming communities. Here, where we live, here on this earth, we walk up the hill on a mild December day to visit a potter who's built a wall of clay whales, documenting the exact loss of each whale in J-Pod, this little culture of whales, of black and white orcas, here in this sea, this very sea. We buy a mug for my sister. Coming back, we're greeted loudly by friends tumbling out of the cafe, friendly seed savers who have gathered to talk, just to talk, all seeds saved for now. One is selling eggs from the back of her car. They aren't her eggs. Her friend got more chickens, forgetting there are no markets in winter. And they say Jean is selling Constance potatoes from her house. And a daughter is in hospital with terrible flu, so we pray. And one calls out to the other, "Eat the squash, it's good." Here, where I live, and in the city where I have lived, I have been lucky. Footpaths. Footpaths through ferns, the nearest way neighbor to neighbor, or a little gate in the fence for a child to pass through to visit, candy on the coffee table for the child, saying hello to people on the road, cookie tins to the women at the post office, soup for the dying and the spouses, herbal cough syrup for whoever needs it, making new friends. Neighbor arriving with giant zucchinis, people arriving at the market with food to give away, boxes of quince, beans, flowers, plums. Meetings, meetings, meetings. Standing with others in the early morning dark, in a cold dusting of snow under cedars and firs to prevent logging. Some getting arrested, being broken-hearted with others when standing people in our community are cut down. Singing in a choir, going to funerals of choir members over the years and singing. Stream keeping, counting salmon, praying for salmon, leaning on the bridge looking down into the dark water, then chatting with a person passing by about salmon. There's one. No, two. Crazy, bouncy dancing pre-COVID, tight with other dancers to the reggae band that practiced real well this year. City version, making the effort, knowing neighbors, sitting at the kitchen table while kids play underfoot, going to emergency with them, watching for burglars, gossiping, making paths between places, chatting on the elevator, going to the library for the old lady next door, chatting about the weather until a catastrophe comes and it's time to help each other. Caring about schools or hospitals or water systems, joining with others to do the caring. Model train guys meeting in basements. Golfers showing up at a funeral. Book clubs, going to funerals of book club members. Answering the phone and going with shovels and sandbags when the atmospheric river has diverted a creek, flooding a friend's basement. Volunteer firemen having sandbags and bringing them. The path worn in the grass behind the little library. Paths, the shortest distance, heart to heart. Calling a poetry festival, having so many poets want to read that you make it a 4-week deal and make poet friends for life. Mycelium, bringing the message of anxiety about all the for sale and sold signs, feeling it, holding a howdy neighbor potluck at the hall with music to welcome newcomers. Walking along the snow-rimmed road with a friend, trying to figure out what to do about the psychopaths, the broken ones, unconscious, destroying community. What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? No answer, except maybe prayer. Nothing we can prep for. 25 pounds of lentils gone stale. Nothing to be rehearsed. Everything will be done by instinct. All we can do is build the right instincts. I am blessed to live here, in this community, this culture of peace and sharing food, and kindness carried root to root, a tangle of lives eased by kindness. a seed nursery for the coming era. May it be so. May it be so. Foundational principle number 6, oneness. Everything and everyone will have their own place and be intrinsically recognized for their own nature, their note in the symphony of creation. A Christmas craft fair. In a small community hall, a happy buzz of buying pleasure. I am here selling photos, matted and framed, leftovers from my show called Here I Am, Witnessing the Divine in All Things. A woman, leafing slowly through the photographs, framed and upright in a box, is relaxed, interested, present, and then suddenly leaps back with a cry, leaps halfway across the room, heart pounding, face pale with shock. She has come without warning on the picture of a snake. I kept the snake in the show, and now in the box. A photo of a snake, just a garter snake, but a fat one, just an image. Tail and head lifted, tongue out, sniffing the air, photo. 3 fat loops of gray and brown, just an image. I kept it in. Divine snake. Yes, she jumped exactly how I did those years, flying barefoot across dry grass, a flicker of movement, scream, jump. Snake equals jump with a cry, heart pounding, fear. Standing back as though it might slither off the page, telling me a story of how her mother told her, how she was in her playpen, outside, little, pre-verbal, and how her rambunctious brothers came, and how they threw little snakes at her. Slither is a weighted word. Nasty, nasty. We need a new language. Just a photo. But this happened 2 more times that craft fair day. The jump away, the cry out, even though it's just a picture of a snake. And there are no poison snakes in this mild part of the world. She just stops looking, definitely won't buy, goes on her way. I ruined her day, I guess. I'm sorry. Kinship. We are all one. Rattlesnakes seldom harm an Indian. When encountered, there is pause, regard, acknowledgement, and continuing on their way. So says J. Allen Boone in his book Kinship with All Life. White men regard the snake with startle, fear, and murderous intent. Rattlesnakes give back the same. And the delusion of separation continues. It is the same with white man and Indian, and Englishman and Irish, and Palestinian and Israeli. It just goes fucking on and on. The delusion of separation. White men regard the snake with startled fear and murderous intent. Rattlesnake gives back the same. And the delusion of separation continues. Brothers. Her mother told her that as a wee one in playpen, brothers dropped snakes on her. Wee snakes, brothers. So, another one also talked about brothers chasing her with snakes. Brothers, so. Archetype, brothers. Males saying we women shall be scared. You should be scared. Male energy throwing snakes. The delusion of fear. Collective teaching the delusion that we are separate from the living world, teaching us to be afraid. It has gone on a long, long time. We are all one. This is elementary school stuff. We are all one. My long ago black lover bled red blood, like me, a truism, and also true. In elementary school, bored, dreaming, I saw the world map on blackboard hanging, pink, watered blood everywhere for the British Empire. Yes, in my lifetime, though the maps may have been older. Slowly, softly, my eyes closed, bored with the lessons of empire, through half-shut eyes, I saw continents fitted together, and I saw how Horn of Africa nestles into Caribbean like a happy couple spooning, and up to what we call Central America, how Australia tucks up into India, knees cupped by bent knees. Much later I learned my dreaming was real. That's how it was long ago, before continents drifted apart, and humans adapted to climate with color. I suppose we might do it again. Drift, adapt. The seventh and final principle, foundational to the new era, is love. What is love? Not a feeling, not a song, though that's really hard to believe, not a crush, not a codependence, not a festival, not a sales gimmick, not a Valentine, not something sweet. Old lady in love, ha ha. So foolish, not that. Not this, not that. Is mysterious energy. Dylan Thomas, the force that through the green fuse drives the flower, is good enough. Maybe close enough. If you can name it, you are wrong. Palpable. In the meditation room, bathed in California light, or a rainstorm beating down outside tall windows. Palpable in the circle of attention of a holy man. Love. What else would you call it? I have been lucky in love. Lucky. Mystical. A forest glade with sunlight through green, one beam, someone, some girl guide leader, dressed in blue cotton, dress shining from many ironings, with brown leather belt and sensible shoes, is reading in a strong voice, reading 1 Corinthians 13. Love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices in the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Not this, not that. Green, deep, lush forest. The greatest of these is love. My first mystical experience, I was 13, so very young. No idea how much patience would be called from me, the force that threw the green fuse. Another list of nots, not this, not that. Not easily angered. Love is patient. A long process. A patience learned. Still learning. Love is palpable, perceptible, perceivable, visible, noticeable, appreciable, discernible, detectable, observable, tangible, recognizable, notable, unmistakable, transparent, indisputable, self-evident, incontrovertible, incontestable, undeniable, obvious, clear, plain, plain to see, evident, apparent, manifest, patent, marked, conspicuous, pronounced, striking, distinct, as plain as a pikestaff, standing out a mile, right under one's nose, staring one in the face, writ large, beyond doubt, beyond question, written all over someone, as clear as day, blinding, inescapable, tangible, touchable, noticeable, detectable, solid, concrete, material, substantial, real, and also intangible, undetectable, mysterious, beyond the beyond. Love made conscious is joy. Come a time, all this is gone. Gone, gone, gone beyond. Body gone, house gone, remedies gone, lotions gone, phone gone, world gone, whole world gone, gone beyond, an explosion of love, of joy. Blah, 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 blah. How about I sing it all?
No, stop.